All right, trying to connect everything. Oh, it says I'm live. Hello, my friends, and welcome. Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone. Let's celebrate today with a live stream. Actually, I'm doing it because there are not many news for today. There are, but not enough for the big video. The video would be like 3-5 minutes, and I think it's good. Hey guys, I'm gonna read your comments. Merry Christmas to everyone, and nice to see you here on the live. Decided to make it today. Hi everyone to all over the world. Pleasant for me to see you today. I had some sort of discussion in my Telegram group. And yeah, interesting. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Yeah, I have the lifetime holiday with you, my friends, because the job is really not a job for me. I admire what I do, and I do not consider it a job, but as a hobby. But I got paid for it a little. Merry Christmas, guys. So today, let's speak about the news probably that happened early morning. I was shocked about the Russians who again fired the Grads, the rocket artillery, the most popular that they use. They fired it to Kherson area. They're not far away from the city, and more than 35 people, civilians, were wounded and 10 people died. I posted the pictures on my Telegram channel, so you may check out the video description, and there you may find the information about the case with the pictures, and that is terrible. The center of the city is under attack. So before they recognized and proclaimed that Kherson is their city, their territory, they did the so-called referendum there, and still they fired rockets to their own citizens. Yeah, they recognized that they became Russians, and they still fire rockets. It's just terrible. What else we have for today? Very interesting. Appear just right now that the head of the company that produces the carriers, the submarines basically, for the calibers. Calibers are the most popular Russian cruise missiles that they continue to use against Ukraine. So the general director, passed away today, and he was responsible for that part of the Russian army activity. He was 66, and still we don't know why he passed away. It says he died. Alexander Buzhakov, he died. I posted it on also my Telegram. Telegram may have some kind of discussion with you, my friends, and there I post what is interesting basically for me. As for Rogozin, he was finally delivered to Moscow hospital, and in a few days he will undergo a surgery to remove the fragment from his body parts. So not only his butt suffered, but spine, head, leg, and something like that. So it was the shrapnel that entered the room, and from the information we have now, that there were some of the artillery shells that exploded. So not the single artillery shell, but many that exploded near to the building. My friends, I want to ask you about the quality of the video and audio. Is it okay, or should I change something? Hello, greetings from Moldova. Greetings. Started watching you from the beginning. Yeah, it's not the wine. It's coconut water. So I do not drink alcohol, not because I don't want to, but I think around 3 years ago, I had some severe allergy after I drank alcohol, and now when I drink alcohol, if I do so, for 3 years, I think I already haven't been drinking alcohol. So I have some rush and some throat block because of alcohol, so that's why I do not drink it. Dennis, go have a nice evening with your family. It is now. It's okay for the family. My daughter, she's busy playing. My wife is reading something about our stuff in a different country, because we live in a different country. We need to handle many of the bureaucratic things, and it's getting terrible, frustrating. I wish I would be home. Good evening. Yeah, people continue to write comments. You're looking so great. Okay, thank you. Greetings from England. Greetings to England. New Zealand. Greetings. Leopard 2 for Ukraine. Actually, I saw the review of the Leopard 2. Experts say that it might not change the scenario of the outcome of this war, because still it has its own pluses and minuses. Russian T-72 tank still can penetrate the armor of that tank. It's kind of vulnerable for some special Russian shells. Not good. I thought it would be much better, as well as the Abrams, by the way. So there are some Russian shells that they continue to use that may penetrate Abrams, Leopard 2 easily, quite easily, especially on the sides. I think it's for every tank. So the protection that we have nowadays is not that effective compared to the effectiveness of the tank rounds. They are much more developed compared to the armor of the tank. Merry Christmas. Yeah. Thank you. Greetings from Hannah. Greetings. Every day waiting your reports. Thank you so much. Greetings from Washington, United States. Greetings. Merry Christmas from Poland. Merry Christmas. Our neighbors. Texas. Germany. Yeah, so many comments, my friends. Basically, I can answer your comments if you have some sort of the questions. As I said to you, yeah, the bad stuff happened today because Russia fired to artillery to Kherson. Other than that, there are not big news. Well, British intelligence say that they think that Russia's artillery or ammunition most likely remains a key factor. Lack of artillery ammunition mostly remains a key factor limiting Russian offensive operations. I think it also stands for Ukraine. We also in lack of the artillery ammunition, and that's why maybe we have the standstill situation on the front lines. Russia has no success today on the front lines. They just took some sort of land on north part, from Donetsk city. Just fields, no villages, as usual. But still, they take the ground each day. But sometimes we have counterattacks, like recently in Bakhmut. Then we were able to throw them away for a few hundred meters. That's the success of our forces, because we sent new reinforcements to Bakhmut city. or Bakhmut. Our guys call Bakhmut, but I call Bakhmut. Hope you can have a more relaxed time over the Christmas period from UK. Best wishes. Thank you. Greetings from Oregon. Keep on good work. Thank you. Hi Dennis, then your country going to win? We Iranians will win over the occupying Islamic Republic before the next Navruz. Yeah, I know what Navruz means. I used to live in Tashkent for a long time. Iran and Ukraine to victory. Awesome. Thank you for your support. I wish you success in your fight against the Republic. And I hope Iran will be democratic state again. I don't know, then we going to win. And honestly, I would not be so optimistic about Iran, because I thought that those protests would go into some kind of the revolution, but it didn't happen. Still society, I would say, yeah, mostly support that, but not proactively as it should have been. It's much more active compared to Russia, but still, I think not this year, as you said, maybe next year. We're gonna see some changes in Iran. But still, you see, they afraid, like they put aside their police that was responsible for the hijabs, and also, but they still execute some of the protesters, so it's terrible what they've done in Iran. As for us, I don't know when it's gonna be finished. Oh, we had some of the Russian bots here. So it depends on help, I think, mostly from the Western allies. Then we'll have aviation and long-range rockets, maybe some tanks. It's gonna be over for Russia. Russia is now struggling because economically they're struggling because their oil ships were blocked, their economy mostly declining, ruble is going down, like very terrible decline for the ruble recent week. And so yeah, I think they will not survive the sanctions. It will be like with Soviet Union. Then they were not able to sell the oil for the price they wanted. They basically collapsed. Their economy collapsed. People couldn't buy like goods, normal goods in the shops. People were disappointed about the Soviet regime, and they start to disassemble. So the same thing goes for Russia. There will be disassemble of Chechnya, disassemble of Tatarstan, other small parts of Russia, and basically it will just collapse. That's my prediction, but this process takes time. For Soviet Union, it took around 10 years from the oil crisis state to actually collapse of the country. But our goal is to end Russia once and for all. I think we don't need this aggressor on the map of the planet. Before I thought that if we put democratic government to the Russian Federation, there will be prospects for it, but I think it will not be able to live in a democratic way. Now I think like that. Now I think the better way for the planet is just, collapse Russia once and for all to avoid the threat, because they were the threat for everyone for a long time. And they started the Second World War, if you didn't know, together with Germany, with their ally. They signed a secret agreement. They divided Poland into two parts. One was for Germany, the other for Soviet Union. So they really started the Second World War. After it, yeah, they had some problems with Nazi Germany, and they started to the fight with each other. The Germany became the problem for everyone. That's why Soviet Union got the help from even from America, and that is how they were able to win the war. Without that help, they would be like devastated. And now what we see that they still have these imperialistic ambitions in the European continent, in not only in Central Asia, I would say. So the main thing is to make the same stuff as with Soviet Union. And you know, after Soviet Union collapsed, democratic states were celebrating, because it's the end of this Cold War era and everything. And they put the democratic government actually was elected in Russia, Yeltsin president. But after a while, there was the war in Chechnya. After a while, they elected Putin. Putin was placed by ex-KGB leaders, and he's ex-KGB himself. So the same Soviet stuff still remained in Russia. And they started the war in Georgia. They now started the war in Ukraine. Transnistria, yeah, we all know it. So they want just war. And we need to get rid of them. But this is the long-term process. I'm afraid it's going to be like that. So to be like with Soviet Union. So I hope in 5 years, around 5 years, we see Russia will be fragmented into different countries, and I hope it's going to be the end for the war era. But still, there is one more enemy for the democratic world. It's China. China regime, not the China as a country. Chinese people are okay. I mean, Chinese regime. So the main thing is to get rid of that as well. But you know, the problem for China that Western countries actually put lots of the finances to the Chinese economy. Without that influence and input, China would not be really the economy that they have right now and military that they have right now. I remember when I was a kid and my wife used to be, my wife. my mother used to be the flight attendant, and she used to fly to China, and they were really like not at that level as they are right now. They were struggling at some point, but now they're not. They really have the power, and if Russia would, you know, fragment into some parts, I believe that China will take control of some of the lands till Ural Mountains, some parts of Siberia. They may recognize the historical regions that Russia took from them, and they may do the special military operation. So it's just my own opinion, my friends. Everything that you actually see on this channel is my own opinion, so you may agree or disagree. Write your own comments about what should Russia do, or what should we expect from Russia. How do you see the world with Russia, without Russia, whether it should be in its borders, or should it be like fragmented into several independent states? Yeah, it's not the alcohol, as I say to you, but the glass is awesome. Russia is also losing their population. People are leaving. Yeah, not many having children. Russia will collapse. Yeah, they have severe demographic problems. Severe. They lost more than 1 million people of the men between 20 and 40 years old, the most productive age for the young men. They just left the country. I still wonder why Putin decided not to close the border. Maybe he was afraid of riots inside the country. And that's it. Ukraine actually closed the borders, but still, as you can see, it's possible to leave the country. For me, I left because I'm the airline pilot, and just around 2 months ago, Ukraine put the new law that lowered the restrictions for some of the men who are the sailors, pilots, who are not able to find a job within Ukraine, because basically the airspace is closed. Ships are the ships you can see are in the Black Sea for the, how to say it, for the crop deal, for the seeds deal, for the I forgot this word in English. So mostly those ships are Turkish that deliver food from Ukraine to the third countries. So that's why I was able to leave legally. Even took my car. When do you fly again? Don't know. It's the long process, may take 1 year, because I need to study to convert my pilot license into the European one. I'm staying in Europe, so European Union license, it's EASA license, and I need to get that one, and then I'll be legally able to fly. But again, I need to study the local language I'm not in the English speaking country, and that is why I need to study the local language also to be employed. This process is very long. Until that time, I don't think I'll be able to fly. So 1 year I give for myself here to start flying. If somehow it wouldn't be possible, I'm just gonna go maybe to United States, because the airline pilot job market there is very big, and I would able to find a job for sure. FAA license is very easy to get compared to European license, and less bureaucracy, more job opportunities. They speak English. I also speak some English, and still, but I would like to stay in Europe because I have parents in Ukraine. If something goes wrong with them, I may just easily in a couple of days be in Ukraine again, and I can go to Ukraine, I can leave Ukraine. There is no problem for me. So I'm staying here because of basically parents, and yeah, we're just used to European stuff, European lifestyle. That's it. Come to Canada. Yeah. Well, it's not that easy to fly for Air Canada. To get employed in this, high level AAA, as I say, AAA airlines, the #1 airlines like Lufthansa, Swiss Air, American Airlines, Delta. It's not that easy to pass the interview. It's not that easy. And especially if you are expat like me. So they give the opportunity for locals. If they still have job opportunities, yes, you may apply, but still, yeah, priority for locals. And it's how it should be. In Ukraine International, we have just one expat. No, he was married on Ukrainian woman. That's why he got the Ukrainian passport, and he was Iranian. So that is why he was employed. So again, we have the same problem. For our airline, for big airlines, like you need to have the residence permit, or at least, yeah. Then it's Merry Christmas, and whatever you do have, well, thank you. Ever planning to return to Ukraine after all of this over and stabilized? Yes, actually I'm planning to do so. But if I'll find the job here, I will stay. Like, if I'll have the stable job, because on the Ukrainian market, I don't know how long there will be no flights. So just coming back and sitting, yeah, I may do so, but I still have a YouTube channel, but the main thing is to find the airline pilot job. Do you pronounce your last name? It's Davydov. Dennis Davydov. Dennis, have you heard The Netherlands will give, yeah, they will give 2.5 billion to Ukraine dollars, but not will not like have the money themselves. Will have humanitarian help. Will have maybe military support from them, because the numbers you see, they will not just like transfer them to Ukraine or something through the bank accounts, Swift transactions. No, they just announced volume, the volume of the help. So, for example, we'll have like maybe 6 Patriots or maybe 3 Patriot systems. So that may cost around $800 million, let's say, 6 Patriots. That's why they say like we'll help Ukraine for $800 million. That includes the transportation, the systems themselves, training for army men to be able to operate those systems. So that's how it goes. Also, the next year, United States approved 45 billion help for Ukraine, and that includes also the money for the third countries like Bulgaria. Bulgaria now start to give Ukraine weaponry. Before they refused, now they start. So they also pay for the third countries, or maybe they supply them their weaponry, and the third countries supply Soviet-made weaponry to Ukraine. So it's like that. Some of the Russians propagandists say that, United States send their brand new equipment to the third countries, NATO countries, and those countries send the old garbage, Soviet garbage to Ukraine. But still, our guys are trained to use Soviet-made weaponry more compared to the Western-made. Now, situation changes a little bit, but in general, yeah, Soviet-made equipment is great. Greetings from Romania. Romania, greetings. Happiness, keep doing right things. Thank you. As a 25-year-old American Eagle American Airlines captain, I would recommend Southern Airlines. So you fly for American Eagle and you recommend Southern Airlines. All right. Southwest. Sorry, Southwest. Yeah. The thing that with Southwest, they fly just I think 737s. Yeah. I literally discovered that Ryanair has the option for 75% employment. Like you employed for 9 months, and then you have 3 months which you can spend for doing what you like. That's awesome, basically. Merry Christmas from Lithuania. Greetings. I think it's too big. It should break down into separate states. I think it would be easier for them to start or as smaller states starting from scratch. So green. Yeah, I also think like that. Actually, about the Russian Federation, you see it is big on the map, but the territory on the north and Siberia, they're mostly unpopulated. So the most populated area is very close to Ukraine, like Moscow territory. So European part is the most populated. The thing that Belarus will intervene in the war. Chris, thank you so much for the question. Actually, I think it may. Before I wasn't that sure, but after what I see recently, especially 2 weeks, I see how Putin went to Belarus. Lukashenko went to Russia today. I think it happened today. Also, Russia continued to send their weaponry to Belarus. By the time they eagerly need weaponry on the eastern side of Ukraine, those tanks, they continue to throw to Belarus. Still not enough for the full intervention, but little by little they gathered the forces on the north, from the north side from Ukrainian border. And I think they may do so. Whether it's going to be successful, I don't think so, because all of the positions were prepared by Ukrainian army and they will not go through. They may go like for maybe 20 kilometers, but the scenario, as you saw this year in February, it will not happen. Like, they will not reach Kiev suburbs or something. We're gonna stop them well before. And honestly, Ukrainian army wasn't prepared for the February scenario, my friends. And I was quite disappointed that knowing that our forces were thrown mostly to the eastern part and the north part of Ukraine wasn't protected that much. If you speak about, for example, Hostomel airport, our army got just few units and new army men mobilized soldiers for that region that couldn't do much there. That's why they retreated, and more units were thrown in a couple of days, and those units actually demolished Russians over there in Gostomel. But after Russia sent reinforcements and took Gostomel once again. So it happened like no one was waiting for them from the north side from Kiev. It's my opinion. It's based on what I seen. It's based on the people whom I talked to, the military men. They were not prepared for the massive helicopter attack during the first days of the intervention. But now we are prepared, and let's see what Russians' next step will be. And partially, yeah, it's bad to say, but maybe at some part, I think it's better for Ukraine if they perform that attack. They will be just demolished, and that will bring the end closer for the Putin's regime. But again, yeah, will not let them go from the north. Especially the ground there, it's like very soft nowadays, very soft. There are some swamps, forests, and we prepared, we built the defense lines, so it's not gonna happen as in February. And Russia has much less forces compared to February. Dennis Kent, Ukraine placed the United States HIMARS in Kherson and hit Russian behind the river. We actually hit them behind the river, but we have just few of those systems. They concentrated on the eastern side of Ukraine to target the Wagner Group ammunition depots. They concentrated in Zaporizhia region to hit Melitopol and Russian supply lines that are leading from Crimea. So simply there is not enough artillery systems for Ukrainian army. They operate like 2 HIMARSes for the group usually. So it's like that. Simply not enough. $5,000 live allies watching. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Merry Christmas to you all. Some people were saying that they are ready to invade from north in 25 and 26 of this month. Yes, I also got this information from the Russian publics. I think it's still misinformation because I know the state of the ground in Ukraine. The land is very soft. The soil is kind of, and especially in that region, it's swampy. So maybe they should wait till January. Come to the United States and work for American or Delta Airlines. All right. Dude, I hope that it's alcohol. No, it's ouch. It's coconut water. Coconut. I really enjoy the coconut water. I used to work in Indonesia for Garuda Indonesia, and since that time It's it's my favorite drink. Especially then you got it fresh from the coconut. It's awesome. I don't believe Belarus will invade. I think maybe they will not invade, but from their territory, Russians may go on attack again. There is the high probability of that. Do you plan new joint event with operator Starsky? I'm far away from him right now, so I think not. Maybe we're gonna go on a live stream at some point. Thank you for replying, but is Ukraine able to counter them? This attack in Kherson today was so bad. Somehow Kherson must stay alive and not be destroyed. It's hard to do nowadays. Very hard to do. To counteract against their rocket systems, rocket artillery, because they're quite mobile. Those guys, at one day, sorry, at some moment you don't see them and they may just go. They're like basically tracks. They arrive, fire, and go. Arrive, fire, and go. It's hard to track them. And for the HIMARS, for the long range, it's still, then rocket flies, it needs the stable target, let's say, not moving target. Dennis, I enjoy the energy, seriousness of your commentary. I wish NATO would do more to free you from the operation of the subhumans. Yeah, thank you. Zrizdwom. Civil disturbances of Belarus attacks. Is there more mobilization in Ukraine? I guess it depends on the Russian mobilization. If they hire more soldiers, mobilize them, I think Ukraine will also mobilize more soldiers. It's normal. We have to do it. Our mobilization started in February and continues from that time, so it's non-stop. It's not announced, but there are some of the waves. So it's not announced whether they need new men or not. They simply hire new men, but they hire mostly people with military experience. However, now I can see that in the army there are people without the military experience, mostly volunteers, but still I think not enough men for the latest wave of the mobilization in Ukraine already. Merry Christmas. Been watching you to keep up the Ukraine fall and winter. Thank you. Hi from New Zealand. Slava Ukraine. Greetings. Friends, greetings. And that's why you leave. No. I wouldn't be hired in any case. Like, you cannot be forced to go to the army according to Ukrainian laws. So even if they call you, like they'll give you the notification letter, go to army. If you ignore it, nothing will happen to you. So it's up to you whether you need to go or not. So they will not put you in prison, unlike in Russia. So basically, it's like appointment, right? So go or not go. I haven't received those, and as I say to you, mostly only guys with the army military experience got those letters. But now some of the men went there without military experience. I went because it wasn't possible for me to continue, firstly to continue my job on YouTube without electricity. Second thing, that I need to save my wife and daughter. Third, I need to look for the job as an airline pilot. I wish the rest of the world would do more for Ukraine and the Ukrainian people fleeing the war. Thank you. Watch you every night. Keep it up. Thanks from London. Greetings to London. In Russian army, there is not this option. Yeah. Hi Dennis, my AC unit is broken and I'm currently 18 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm so cold, but I can't imagine how cold it's over in Ukraine because of Putin's terror bombing. How are you staying warm? I'm not in Ukraine, so I'm okay. But my parents are in Ukraine and they say that the temperature is above zero, if we speak about that degrees centigrade. So it got warm recently and they're okay. I bought them 2 generators and they are okay, I think. And some woods as well for the stove, for the oven. And then whatever happened to Syrian fighters that were supported to go to fight? I think they never came. Maybe 100 soldiers came, but they were announced by the Russian Federation during the springtime, but after all, no one came. And some of the fighters from some kind of the African, it's hard to say, Eritrea or something like that. They were announced to join the war on the Russian side, but also they never came. Hadens from Netherlands. Here, 2 questions. How would hovercrafts perform in the Sea of Mud? Don't think this is a good idea. Second, why not offer a home to the Afghan warriors looking for a future? Home for Afghan warriors. It seems like I misunderstood your question. Afghan warriors? Russia's actually wanted to hire them. There are some ex-military in Afghanistan who were supported before by United States, and now they like out of society because they were dismissed by Taliban. So Russia wanted to hire them, but there are no reports from the front lines that Afghans are fighting on some sort of the side, Ukrainian or Russian. Is a video coming today? No, just a live stream. Video is coming tomorrow. Yeah, hovercraft don't have armor capability and you can hear them for miles. Indeed, that's why it's not a good idea. It's too quiet today. Russia is up to something. They put the cruise missiles carrier into the Black Sea, and there are some preparations of their strategic aviation, and I think that they will launch the rocket attack on Ukraine maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so Sunday or Monday. Love you and your family, Dennis. Thanks for your hard work every day. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Oh, I just remember that today I should have done the integration with Atlas VPN. But that video would be like, it would not have enough views for today because nothing really happened and I'm not in that mood to film the video and integrations today. I really have nothing to speak about for the news. Maybe there could be some topic about Russia, Ukraine, the war, about the possible Belarusian intervention, but not that popular it will be. So Sorry, Atlas VPN. I hope to film something tomorrow. Yeah, they really help a lot, and I have this like separate bank account where they send the money, and that money is sent for Ukraine to help. З Різдвом, Денис, слава Україні, героям слава. Дякую, Девід. З Різдвом. By the way, you know that Orthodox Christians, which Ukrainians are, we do celebrate the Christmas on the 7th of January. But today there was the petition in our application of DIA. So here you can all the society may vote. So we have like online application. Before I showed you about the guns, whether Ukrainians should have the guns, no, and here you can vote. So at what date should we celebrate Christmas? On 25th of December, as Western countries celebrate. On 7th of January, as Orthodox Christians celebrate. Both dates, that's interesting, to Christmases. I do not celebrate Christmas. That's also the option. So only 3%, yeah, near to 3%, they do not celebrate Christmas. 3%. And the winning is now the 25th of December. So here, the 25th of December, almost 60% voted for that date. And 26% voted for it to stay on 7th of January. So it's going to be next year, right? And 2 dates, people who are willing to celebrate a lot, almost 12%. So I voted for 25th because I think it's more correct. Actually, I'm not that not that religious, but for this one I voted because we need to have more common with the Western cultures than Russia. Not all Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas on 7th of January. I didn't know. I thought only all of the Orthodox Christians celebrate that. How to say Happy New Year in Ukrainian? З Новим роком. З Новим роком. Рік це Rik means year. Happy New Year. So it's in Ukrainian it sounds like with New Year. Not Happy New Year, but with New Year. З Новим роком. Now celebrating Christmas. Thank you for a great contact. Щиро дякую. Вам дякую, що дивитесь. Are you safe or do you need a new place? No, I'm safe here. I'm quite safe. I'm sure that I'm safe. Romania is Orthodox and it celebrates Christmas on 25th. Guys, I didn't know it. Yeah, I say I'm not that religious person. That is why I may not know many other things. So, yeah, it's opening for me, let's say. In that case, for sure, we need like to join Romania. I mean, in celebration of the Christmas. All the best, Dennis, for the new year. Yeah, thank you. Denny, why are you not fighting? I'm coward. That's why. Yeah, I just answered that question a lot of times, so yeah. Greece from Estonia. Greetings. Greetings from Cherkasy. Oh, I used to live in Cherkasy. In Cherkasy Oblast as well for the summertime. It's awesome. Lots of the woods there, forests. The river is fantastic. Everything is great. Do you have job prospects with Western line because you cannot fly anymore in Ukraine? Yeah, I always have prospects, but it takes time. I think I need to spend like 1 year for license conversion training and passing all of those crazy exams that European license requires. So people spend like sometimes even 2 years to pass all of that crazy subjects. It's not like in Ukraine or United States where you just spend 10 days for studying, passing. Here, I mean the theoretical part, exams, if you need the license conversion, not from the beginning, but if you want to convert, usually you spend 10 days in United States. For European Union and European license, it's just crazy. Have you ever been to Russia before the war? Yeah, many times. Actually, I started my flight career with the airline that is the daughter airline from mother airline, which is based already in Russia. It's UTAIR, the airline that was built using Russian oil money, but it's mostly like private oligarchs, let's say, built that airline, and they want to put some sort of the increase the market, let's say, because there were some of the guys with the Ukrainian roots. So they put a few of the ATR airplanes, turboprop, French-Italian, made airplanes to Ukraine, and I was one of the first pilots who was hired by UTAIR Ukraine Airlines. So actually, I started to work in 2009 for the, let's say, Russian airline, and I passed my training and line training. Yeah, theoretical part was in Finland, type rating, and line training was in Siberia, Tyumen, Surgut, Salihard, Noyabrsk, Uray, Novosibirsk. So all of that stuff, I was flying for 2 months there for the line training. Need to have like, I think 40 sectors, 40 flights. I don't remember actually. And I was flying there during this time, during November, December, and it was crazy cold. Like -40 is okay temperature, -40 centigrade. I don't know how many Fahrenheit in Fahrenheit, but it was interesting experience, and the conditions that flight attendants and pilots, the conditions they live in, they are terrible. It's not like even close to the Western airlines. At least at that time it was like that in 2009 and 10. I think there is no changes for now. So I stayed in like this big hotel. I shared the room with some sort of the technician, and then you fly somewhere overnight. The airline also has some kind of, usually it's owned big hotels. They put all of the crew together. I mean, not girls and boys, but they put all the boys at one room, like 4 men in a single room. Oh my God, it's like army, and it was terrible. My instructor was good, however, but still, after we finished the line training, he welcomed me to his apartment for some sort of a drink to celebrate my line check. And I went to his room, and the room was really like the room the apartments, sorry, the apartments were like the pilot should not live in that conditions. So it's just crazy. By that time, I was surprised that people can live in that conditions. But again, it was in 2009. Maybe something changed. I don't really know. But I'm in doubt about it. And our airline, UTR Ukraine, we used to fly to Moscow from Luhansk. Actually, the base was in Luhansk for the airline. And we flown from Luhansk to Moscow, Donetsk, Moscow, Mykolaiv, Moscow, Odessa, no, Kharkiv, Moscow, Odessa. And in 2 years of operation like that, we changed for the Kiev base in Zhurlani, and we started to fly the domestic flights in Ukraine only. So no more Moscow for us. And it was great because Moscow is terrible. If we speak about the traffic and everything, it's just crazy there. A lot of traffic, and the organization is terrible. The air traffic control, the organization, everything. And we used to fly to Vnukovo airport, that is the government airport. So Putin, Medvedev, everyone, all the government is based at the same airport. So then Putin flies somewhere. Sometimes you have to wait for 2 hours. Like if you fly in the air, there were some of the cases then airplanes just divert to alternates because they were not granted the permission for landing in Vnukovo airfield because Putin is flying, and it's just terrible. If you're on the ground, you can wait with even with passengers on board like for 2 hours. Oh my God, Russia, it's I wouldn't say it's like very terrible. No, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's different, not in a good way. So I don't have good memories about Russia. I have that opinion even before the war started. -40 is cold enough to freeze the nuts. Yeah, -40 in Siberia is okay. You feel it like -10 in Ukraine because maybe of the low humidity. The lower temperature, the lowest I experienced was in Salihard. And then we arrived there, the temperature showed -53. So and the meteor report reported -53 degrees. That was cold. And we shut down just a single engine. We disembarked the passengers, embarked the new, started that engine and flown away. We decided to do like that. But again, after I spoke with people in Siberia, they are not okay with Moscow. They hate Moscow, really. And by that time, I understood that they have the national division within the Russia. And they say, like, if someone would nuke Moscow, they would be not happy but okay with it because they hated it. There are just few men who liked Moscow. And yeah, people in Moscow, they are very different compared to Siberian people. I was based in Vnukovo, Moscow, good times every day, an adventure to survive. It's compared to other Moscow airports, this one is the most crazy. Maybe because they have the government airline there. -40 is cold, yeah, -40 is cold. Thank you, Michael, sorry. Not good in English. I hope we will sing Free Buryatia, Dagestan, and so on. I hope to. Love your video. Thank you. Счастливо Різдва, Dennis, and family. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Do you think Ukrainians will ever switch to Latin alphabet from Cyrillic after this war is over? I would say it's still not in our culture, and many people would not like to have it, the Latin alphabet. But I don't know. For me, it really doesn't matter. The thing that we need to separate from Moscow, not the letters. I think it doesn't matter. With much respect, why are you not on the front lines? Okay, because I am not on the front lines. With much respect. Dennis, is your heater making a beep noise? No. Do you have a view of what is happening in the hearts of the people in Ukraine? Are people becoming bitter, religious? I think we have the common feeling within Ukrainian society, common ideas, and our society became more robust, let's say, more united after the war had started, and maybe more friendly to each other. People became more friendly to each other. We're gonna see after the war how it goes with that. Kazakhstan want to change to Latin alphabet. Turkey changed almost 100 years ago. No problem. Then everything is easier. Yeah, why not? But for me, it's like, it doesn't matter. I used to live in Uzbekistan for a long time. Then I was a kid. And I experienced that. They changed from the Cyrillic letters into Latin letters. And everything went fine. So it's not the problem for society. Where's all the videos on the hot? All right. Hey Dennis, are you your friends, or do you know the guy who does the reporting from Ukraine channel? You both are the best reporters. I do not know the guy. I actually do not watch other YouTubers who are speaking about the war. I don't know why. Maybe some Ukrainian reporters. I watch some Russian reporters also. I need to know the thought on the other part as well to be more unbiased, let's say. So, but it's not really my topic, believe me or not, and it's just my personal blog. I decided to speak about the war. I'm not a war-oriented person. I'm totally civilian, so I think I should film something else after the war is over, obviously. Now I dedicated this channel to the war, but to help Ukraine maybe. But it's not really my topic. But for the videos, I watch some of the experts, Ukrainian, Russian, but not regular videos from other YouTubers. Simply, we provide kind of similar content with, I don't know, with every YouTuber. Arthur from Estonia, with everyone. So, is your daughter enjoying Christmas in a new country? Don't go here. Do you enjoy Christmas?
Yes.
All right, she enjoys the Christmas. Do you have some presents for the Christmas?
Yes, Lego City.
All right. Yeah, she got the Lego big Lego City or something, or Lego France, the big one I bought here for the Christmas. Merry Christmas from Kansas, United States. Greetings. Dennis, are you happy with friends' help? Yes, we are. They help with teaser systems. We have the air defense systems, Crotel from the France, also some of the manpads. I think mortars also, and high precision Excalibur shells. They also got them and they sent to us. So we're okay with. Sometimes just Emmanuel Macron is kind of strange. He speaks strange words that we need to secure Russia. Russia should have security guarantees. Maybe it's his own like game, and that's it. What's your favorite drink, Dennis? It's the coconut water. My favorite drinks. So I drink it here, the coconut water. Drinking vodka from a wine glass, boss. No, it's not a vodka. I would be like that if I would drink so much. Dennis, wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Family, thank you, thank you. Thanks for your daily updates. Thank you. Hi from Ohio. I don't know why Ohio became so meme in internet. Maybe you know why. Like average day in Ohio, then something is completely terrible. Average day in Ohio. Oh my god. Dennis, do you have my favorite metal albums or songs this year? No, no time for that. I forgot the last time I listened to some sort of music. Dennis, rather than Ukraine being grateful for support of the West should be grateful to Ukraine for fighting the malicious Russian way of life. Yeah, glory to Ukraine and thank you, Jim. Jim, yes, partially you're right. Yeah, we have the Western help, but also we have and we waste our resource for fight the greatest resource, the human lives, right? To fight for democracy. Ukraine choose to join the Western world, not the Russian Federation. We were supported by the Western countries, United States, with our choice. And I think it's fair that if we were supported, that we should be given some tools to withstand Russian aggression against democracy. So what we have is great. I hope we will have more help from the Western allies, especially with long-range missiles and aviation, because we're in aviation. We really sucks. We really suck against Russians because they have like 10 times more airplanes, fighter jets, and everything compared to Ukraine. And aviation matters in this war. That's why Zelensky constantly speaking about it. Dennis, do you think Ukraine should free the south of Ukraine before freeing the east part of Ukraine? I think so. I think the next target is already mentioned by our officials, target to free from Russians is Melitopol. I think we should go there because eastern part of Ukraine, as much as it's defended from Ukrainian side, it's also defended from the Russian side. So where they were building the defense lines for long 8 years in self-proclaimed republics, and it would be just waste of lives to go on a counterattack on a massive one over there. That's what they do on the eastern part. They have, that's why they have severe losses. Still, yeah, I don't visit Ohio. It's like America, but not the 90s, but in the 90s. Interesting. How about Jab? Oh, I drank from the pocket. I should drink from the glass. Would you rather have A10 or F-16s? I think F-16 is more diverse in usage on the front lines. A10 is just dedicated as attack airplane. F-16s, you can drop the bombs, fire rockets, fight against other fighter jets. So I think F-16 is better. And our pilots already were trained to fly that airplane, not A-10. Hi Dennis, how are you, brother? I'm from Jamaica. Jamaica. We call it Jamaica. Living in the United States, I love Ukraine. I love and appreciate President Zelensky and all the people of Ukraine. Dennis, I take you from Jamaica, coconut water all the day. All right, greetings to Jamaica. How about the job with a cargo airline like FedEx, UPS, DHL? They're great. I mean, you have less problems because the more people you have on board, the more problems you have with passengers, with flight attendants, with everyone. So it's better, obviously, to fly on cargo. The problem with cargo that you mainly fly during the night time. It's like that. So night flights, you're like vampire. You do not sleep during the night. You sleep during the day, and your body react in a strange way, and it's not basically good for your health. So if we speak about the health, the long-term scenario of your flight career, it's better to fly the passenger airplanes after all. But obviously less problems with cargo. You fly, you load, you go. That's it. No one is yelling, no one is drinking, no one is unruly. Everything is so simple compared to passenger commercial aviation. F-18 can use same munitions as F-16 with stronger landing gear. Yeah. Hello Dennis, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you. Martinez Plant. Thank you. Thanks, Jess, for what you do. Thank you, guys. What is your wish list for Ukraine heroes as far as weapons from United States and NATO? Will you get Leopards? Yeah, Leopards, I think we'll get them after all. And about the wish list, the main thing is the long-range missiles to destroy Russian supply lines, ammunitions, depots, and command centers. So now we have 80 kilometers range rockets on HIMARS. We need to have like 300 kilometers, but still our allies, it seems like they afraid that we're gonna use those rockets against Russians on their territory. That is why I think they are not passing them for Ukraine. But in future, I think they will change it. And also, I think we need aviation, F-16s, A-10s maybe, or even drones like Reapers, they may also change the situation on the front lines, because they may do similar jobs compared to the piloted airplanes. Do pilots have higher rates of cancer or higher rates of exposure to radioactivity due to flying regularly? Yes. For the year, we accumulate the dose of radiation similar to average employee on nuclear power plant. So yeah, it's like that. But unions try to speak about it, but there are not no any like government regulations for that stuff. We don't have similar, let's say, credits compared to nuclear power plant workers. But once I took with me the radiometer, how we call it dosimeter, radiometer, and it showed like 5 times more than acceptable on the ground. So acceptable, it's like 0.5 microsieverts, and there it shows like on flight level 360, so 36,000 feet, it shows around 2.5. So it should be not more than 0.5, but there 2.5, so 5 times more. And if you fly frequently, yeah, you accumulate the high dose of radiation. That's why the average, and you have irregular rhythms for your body. You fly during the daytime, during the nighttime, and schedule may be switched very fast. You're not able to adapt very quickly, and that's why the average living, the average life length, let's say, of the pilot is around 70 years. 70 years. But in Ukraine it's lower because we have kind of bad ecological environment, especially the Kyiv. I was surprised that Kyiv is so polluted. This year it was in a top 10 of the most polluted capitals. This summer especially. Hello, Dennis. Merry Christmas from Holland. Does Ukraine try to get long-range kamikaze drones? And do you think it should use their weapons to put Moscow in the dark? No, I don't think that we should pay back in the same way. Military targets should be our priority, not civilian infrastructure like they do. And simply, the Russia is so big that you cannot eliminate the electricity. Even they cannot shut down Ukraine. They cannot put Ukraine to the total blackout. Still, we have like 50% of our power plants. Okay, simply the country is big, and Russia is much bigger. And we should target their command centers, ammunitions, as I said, to supply lines. For that, we already designed the special drones. There were no any pictures shown in the media, but we got the information about them, that they do exist, and they designed by entrepreneurs, by people who not who work for Ukrainian army, but associated with the Ukrainian army. So mostly like volunteer projects. But still, it's not going to be the massive production. So it's not going to be the game changer if we speak about the Ukrainian-made drones. And it's said that they may fly for around 1,000 kilometers. Dennis, could you fly fighter jets? No. Without military experience, I cannot fly. I need to be an officer. In Ukraine, if you join the army for 1 year, well, it's compulsory, it's mandatory for every Ukrainian man to join the army at some age, let's say. But I got some of the problems at some with my health at some part of my life. Even it was the problem for me to pass the medical check, but now it's okay. I solved it almostly. And I didn't pass the medical check with for the army commission, and they didn't take me. So I didn't pass the training for 1 year, and I don't have the officer rank. To fly the fighter jet, you should have at least the officer rank, lieutenant or something, and they may train you. In my documents, I have soldier, like soldier. That's it. I cannot apply for the officer ranks, or I need to go through the special training, and also it will take time, and no one will train me right now in Ukraine for the officer rank, because it's the war state. They simply don't have time and efforts to do so. So simply it's impossible for me to fly any kind of fighter jet in Ukraine, according to the regulations. Maybe someone like general say, we take this guy and put him in a cockpit, but I don't think that they will do so. Can Ukraine use small recreational drones? There might be possible donation for power sources. I think we use all kind of drones. Is your motorbike still working? One you donated. Yes, probably. Yeah, where I got the pictures of it. Yeah, it's hard to find. Maybe I'm gonna publish them on YouTube. Merry Christmas. Do you think that Swedish Archer will do a big difference for the war? I don't know. Hello, Dennis. Please tell us what happened with Azov Regiment. Are they still strong and fighting? Yes, they're fighting near to no, not Mariupol. They're fighting in Zaporizhia region on the south part of Ukraine, and they are still fighting. They are okay. However, there's still many soldiers imprisoned in Russian Federation. So the leaders of Azov were freed, but not the soldiers. I mean, some of the soldiers were freed, but still there are many of the soldiers imprisoned. And recently we got the news about the leaders of Azov in Turkey. Turkish side say that they are okay. And today I check out the video how they evacuated some wounded people from the front lines, or using the, how we call it, this big truck with a back pickup. Yeah. You must have heard about the AVG Flying Tigers, American fighter pilots in China in World War II. Actually, no. Pardon, I need to Google. Yuri M, thank you. Merry Christmas. Dennis, if you visit California, you can borrow my Harley. Thank you. Bugatti. Okay. Dennis, can you fly fighter jet? Yeah, I just answered the question. Would you go on a Joe Rogan podcast? Why not? But I think I'm not that popular for him, so he will not ask me to join. I'm not a top star on YouTube, just an average guy. Do you think Ukraine will receive attacks soon? I hope soon, yeah, but finally we're gonna get them. Would it be easier to be hired by a small regional airline? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. The small airline, you have limited numbers of airplanes. If it is conveyor, we call it, then people go there, fly, gain the hours, and go for the major airline. Well, the probability is high, but if people stay there for the long time, it's gonna be hard to enter. So depends. There's just sent you email with the video chats. Yeah, yeah. For personal contact, I have just email. Recently, my friends on a Telegram channel reported that there were some kind of scammers putting my photos on the Telegram, saying about some sort of the cryptocurrencies, bank accounts. I'm not in that stuff, my friends. So, and for the personal contacts, I have just email. That's it. You'll not find me for that in any kind of other social media resources. Well, I can reply on YouTube, I can reply on Telegram channel, but in the comment section, just not personal messages. So if you see me asking something, it's the scammer. Right, guys, it seems like it's been more than 1 hour for today. Yeah. Glad that we have the excellent internet connection. And I'm just gonna go sleep because it's kind of late. Yeah, you also need to sleep?
Yes.
All right. My daughter says she also needs to sleep and we need to go. My friends, again, Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you so much for your kind support. And soon it's gonna be a new year. I don't know, then we're gonna go on a live stream again with you, but it's fantastic actually to have communication in the comments. Sorry for those whom I didn't reply today, because there are so many of my viewers right here, and yeah, I wish I would have the time. Sorry. And I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.
Bye.